Hello guys, welcome back to another English lesson. Today I'm going to explain you Unit 14 from your book 4. In this case, it is called Heartbreak. Objectives talking about unreal situations in the past. And now, in this case, we're going to check exercise 14.1 that it says read text and answer the questions. Now, in this case, we have a text, and next to we have the questions. We have three questions. Now we're going to read. I'm going to read it first, and then we're going to check the answers. It says, last Saturday, my friend Denise was going to get married. Everything was perfect. We were waiting for the groom, but after 1 hour, he didn't show up. Denise was worried about the situation. She was shocked, and she started speculating. If Matt had had an accident, he might have called him. But if he had forgotten his telephone, he would have asked for help. Maybe his car had broken down. If this had happened, he may have come by taxi. If he had been kidnapped, the guys would have gotten in touch with us. Maybe he got sick. If he had gotten sick, he would have called me, or he could have sent me an SMS. And after 2 hours, she only said, well, the reality is that he stood me up. Okay, now don't forget that we are checking third conditional with past modals. In this case, you can use might have, may have, could have, or would have. For example, if Denise had known the truth, she might have been calm. If Matt hadn't stood her up, they may have gotten married. If they had got married, they could have been happy, and Denise might have forgiven him if he had called her on time. Now, we're going to check in this case these three questions. What do you think happened to Matt? According with the text, you are going to write an speculation. Maybe Matt mm, had had an accident. Maybe Matt had been kidnapped, etc. Now, number two, how do you think that Denise felt? In this case, you can say maybe Denise felt sad, Denise felt depressed, Denise felt um, disappointed, etc., etc. And three, have you ever stood someone up? In this case, if yes, you have to say yes I have, or if not, no I haven't. Now we're going to continue with exercise 14.2 and 14.3, and it says fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs. In this case, you have to complete them with the condition and the consequence. For example, in this case, it says if Pablo had arrived on time, we may have, or we may have gone to your party. Maybe. Now, if we have gone to the party, I might have met many girls, and if my best friend might have called me, I have had my phone number. Okay, in this case, they are third conditionals. Now, on exercise 14.3, it says complete sentences using the clue in parentheses. In this case, we have different clues in the parentheses, and the idea is we have to complete them. They are third conditional sentences. For example, in the first one, if the groom had come to the wedding, they maybe would have been very happy. Number two, she might have had a lot of friends if she hadn't been so rude. Maybe. He might have gone with us if he had finished his project. 4. If he hadn't bought that luxurious car, he would have paid the debts. 5. If Patty hadn't jumped from the bungee, she would have broken her leg. Okay? And I may have gotten a better job if I had finished school. Okay? Don't forget that it's third conditional. And the last exercise from your students, it says underline the best ending for each sentence. In this case, you have two options, A or B. And the idea is you have to select what would be the right answer. For example, if Sue had been sick, she might have gone to work. Maybe if Tom had found a better job, he may have paid all his debts. And number three, if Sheila hadn't been so grumpy with her friends, she might have been invited to a party. Okay, the idea is you have to select the correct sentence. Now, in your workbook, we have exercise 14.1. It says, read the situation and write the sentences changing the past so the result would have been different. In this case, we have a sentence. Example, Saul sent his resume to an IT company and they didn't hire him because he didn't know English. Now, using third conditional, if he had no English, they would have hired him. Okay? The idea is you have to use third conditional to complete the sentences. In this case, I wrote the first three. For example, Paula left her entrance door open and her cat ran away. Maybe if she hadn't left her entrance door open, her cat wouldn't have run away. Number two, they had to stop for a lunch in the middle of the road and they got sick later. If they hadn't stopped for lunch in the middle of the road, they would have gotten sick. And number three, Marco bought some books online, and the parcel company charged him a lot of more for the delivery. Maybe if Marco hadn't bought some books online, the parcel company wouldn't have charged him a lot of money. Okay, and this is the idea. And you have to complete the rest. Number 4 and 5 have yourself. You have to read the sentences. Now, on exercise 14.3, we have look at the pictures and match with the correct sentence. Write the number in the circles. In this case, you have, for example, 4 pictures and small circles here. Now, the idea is you have to connect them with the right picture. For example, if Mark hadn't gotten skating, he might have broken his leg. In this case, you can see the picture that he broke his leg. Now, number 2, if he hadn't been so rude, the man might not have gotten angry. In this case, you can see that this guy is completely angry. Okay. And number 3, Shayla may have bought a dog if she had had more space at home. In this case, she couldn't buy a dog, and we have the picture of the dog. Okay, and you have to complete number 4 and 5. You have to read the sentences and complete with the numbers 4 and 5, 4 and 5. Okay. Now, on exercise 14.6, it says underline the correct verb. In this case, you have to be careful and you have to select the verb that is in past participle. For example, if Sally hadn't watched her favorite TV program, he might have arrived on time to the film. And Johnny may have not crashed his car if he had not been distracted while driving. And you have to complete number 3 by yourself. You have to select the past participle verb. Buy, bought, save, saved. Okay. And the last exercise in your workbook, we have complete the sentences with your own words. In this case, you have 5 situations, and you have to complete with your own ideas. For example, he might have forgiven him if he had apologized at first. Maybe if he had gotten married, maybe she would have been so happy. And if she had been stood you up, she might not have been so angry. You have to complete number 4 and 5 by yourself. And that's all about the exercises from your book. Thank you.